What's done with the people right now? I'm streaming and I'm recording a YouTube channel at the same time. And for this video and stream, we're gonna be reacting to Internet Anarchist's new video, recent video. 6 hours ago, Pirate Software's life is falling apart. My background knowledge, I don't know who that is. As you can see, there's a little red bar. That was before I started recording. I had to make some changes, but my background knowledge on the first like 30 seconds, he's like a toxic person. I don't even know who he is. Pirate Software's like, I don't even know who he is. Literally. So we're gonna be looking at him and then we're gonna react. So, and again, this is a YouTube video that I'm recording while streaming, so it's gonna be weird, and I hope y'all can hear me on both ends. And if this doesn't sound good or look good on capture on recording, then it won't probably go to YouTube. So yeah. And Isaac, get on. Isaac said in the chat, get on. I'm recording a video right now, Isaac. I can't. I'm about to record a video. So, as a further ado, let's get on to the video. Let's get it!
Whatever I do, I want to do it to like the best of my ability.
This is his magnum.
Alright, let's start from the very beginning. Isaac said, fuck your vid. Alright, well, fuck you too.
For
That's my
years,
homeboy.
Pirate Software
That's my homeboy, so that's my homeboy.
built his brand on the illusion that he was the smartest person in the room. But in 2025, that entire image fell apart when he was exposed as one of the most toxic and dishonest individuals in the game development community.
The level of stupid that I just had to
He's a game developer. That's what I'm getting now. He's a game dev. What? Okay.
receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This sucks. That's a really stupid move.
When Pirate Software told everyone that he worked on video games for 20 years, that he worked as a hacker, why did anyone believe him when this was what he was putting out? Why did it take this long for people to call him out for being a fraud when this is his magnum opus?
In the fallout, he lost more than 500,000 subscribers and almost 90% of his Twitch viewership in the span of a few short months. You'd think such a fall from grace would force anyone to step back and reflect on themselves, but Pirate Software seems to have learned nothing, because even in the big 2026, he still can't stay out of controversy and online outrage, all due to his massive ego, refusing to accept when he's wrong, and lying through his teeth to the whole world. Is the Pirate Software
Alright, but what did he do though? What did he do? Literally dragging the whole thing. I don't know. What is he doing?
hate train running again? I'm so stoked. This guy is underhated still. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and this is the self-inflicted downfall.
I've seen this guy a few times. He's actually really interesting. I've seen him in class. Like I seen a recent one. His videos are good.
Of Pirate Software. In this video, we're going to be breaking down how Pirate Software, aka Thor, cannot stop turning himself into an online lolcow.
Thor? Thor? That's what he calls himself. Thor? Alright, Thor.
And by the end, you'll see why this latest desperate attempt to prove himself right might have finally destroyed what was left of his image. I have already made 2 videos covering the 2025 drama in detail, but here's a super quick recap of how everything spiraled out of control. The entire thing started in January 2025 during a World of Warcraft run, when Thor refused to help his teammates at a critical moment, causing them to die and to lose months of progress. When the community called him out for the selfish play, he refused to take any accountability.
Wants me to sit down, grovel on my knees and be like, I'm so sorry, Mr. Yamato. It was all my fault, the mage.
This ultimately led to him being kicked out from OnlyFangs, a well-known World of Warcraft guild he was part of. While this controversy didn't do much damage to his image, it exposed Thor's inability to take criticism in a healthy way, a pattern, mind you, that would only get worse over time. By June 2025, he found himself
So he's basically just like a bad teammate. were they playing for money? I wasn't really paying attention. Were they playing for money? Because if they were playing for money and he didn't help his teammate, that's kind of a bitch move, low key. But if they weren't, then I wouldn't really like say nothing, you know. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
In much hotter water, this time for a stance on the Stop Killing Games movement, a widely supported, community-driven effort to legally prevent publishers from shutting down games that players had already paid for. As one of the most influential voices in the gaming community, people expected
now that deleting games for people that people already paid for, that, bro, that's kind of a bad move. Like, at least let them does he delete it from their like game library too, or do they just get deleted as well in their game library, or do they keep it like Forza Horizon 4, where people who had it are able to keep it? Like, if they were able to keep it, I wouldn't care, because they kept their money basically, because they bought the game and they still have it. But if it got deleted on their fucking game library, then that kind of a
art software to back the movement. But not only did he misunderstand the entire initiative, he used aggressive language to actively discourage it.
That is a horrible god direction. That's awful, dude. No, eat my entire. The level of stupid that I.
What'd he say? Eat my entire what? Okay. Wow. Wow, now I can see why he's low-key like a meanie.
I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This sucks. That's a really stupid. That's incredibly stupid.
Brother. Why? You make one good game, and in this way you feel like, oh my god.
Well, I think this is complete garbage. All of this can eat that. I dropped the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that. They can eat the whole thing.
His viewers weren't happy seeing him
So, I think he has a kink, guys. Literally just repeating the just eat it, bro. Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Oh, I think he has a kink. Oh my god.
Trash something the entire internet considered fundamentally pro-consumer, and even major YouTubers like Charlie publicly called out Thor for his stance.
But there's irrefutable evidence that you had a detrimental effect, a majorly damaging effect on Stop Killing Games because of your misinformation that you spread about it in 2 videos and across all your streams, and not once have you bothered to correct that record.
As a result, Pirate Software started losing tens of thousands of subscribers every day. But once again, instead of admitting that he was wrong and apologizing, he doubled down, and even tried to play the victim by claiming his games were being review bombed, which predictably only made things worse. And before this controversy,
bro, if I was at that level of popularity, right, and then I don't think I will ever get to that level of popularity, at least with 1 million subscribers. I don't think I will. But if I did, if I was being such a bitch to like people, which I don't think I would. That would like basically like, oh, I got famous with my day ones. I don't think I would do that. But just say you're wrong. Like, does he have that? Well, he did say that he had a big ego from the start. But I don't get why it's so hard when people get accused or like not accused, like they actually get like confronted about their actions. They just play the victim. What? Just say like sorry, like.
he could even cool off, he took another massive hit to his reputation. Recently, a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions for their role in designing and promoting.
Alright. Just gonna skip this. Oh crap. Let's start right there.
Below what you would expect of a bottom tier intern.
For years, Thor
Hold on. Alright, I think it's... Come on, come on, come on, come on.
caused. You can use my link in the description or scan the QR code on screen to take a short quiz to see if you qualify for the case. With that being said, let's get right back into the video.
Alright.
In July 2025, a YouTuber named Coding Jesus released a video analyzing Thor's coding abilities.
Imagine removing all these comments. Would you, as a newly added game developer to his game project, have any idea that one is Shelly? You would have no idea. This would never ever be allowed in a production repository. And like,
So, what am I seeing here? All I get is Sprite Index, and then I just think of the drink. What am I looking at here? What am I looking at? I don't know. I like his haircut. I like Coding Jesus's haircut. I like his hair. Nice hair.
I've been hinting, it's below what you'd expect of a bottom tier intern.
For years, Thor had built his brand on expertise, claiming he'd worked as a hacker for the government and spent significant time at Blizzard, the legendary game studio.
Who says that? Like, if you worked in the FBI, why would you say that? Cause don't they say that you can't? So no one, since you're in the FBI, 13 WTF said, guess what? What? Chicken butt. Okay. Okay. I know he's gonna say that. He didn't say anything. But chicken butt. Oh, okay, he said it. I don't know if I can put stream chats on the little thing. I don't know. So YouTube viewers are gonna have to imagine what he said, chicken butt. So, but aren't you not allowed to like say that you're part of the FBI if you are in one, even especially if you were a hacker? What?
leaned heavily on these credentials to establish authority in the community.
I've been in the gaming industry for about 20 years. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment, then Amazon Game Studios, and now I own my own studio, Pirate Software, by the same name, which is an indie studio, and I've been here for about 8 years now.
So when Coding Jesus put that video out, it threatened to unravel that entire image. But rather than addressing the technical criticism head-on, Thor attacked Coding Jesus personally.
It's just another, like, YouTube grifter trying to fight for relevance, dude. That's all that shit is.
I'm trying to fight for relevance. I want to become somewhat famous. Not somewhat famous, but I want to become the amount of Brian Torres, can I like your address? No. But I want to gain. I don't want. I'm fighting for popularity, low key. Oh my god. I want to be in why? Don't, man. Don't. But I want to be in a level of popularity where I don't become where everything I can say can be cancel worthy or I have to watch for everything I say. I want to become a financial stable famousness. You know?
All too common these days.
And deflected every time he was caught being objectively wrong.
Manually setting all to 0 with 8 lines. Those were set to 0 because it was ending the alarms. By setting them to 0, you're actually setting the alarm to off.
So what he's doing here is a classic example of deflection. He pretends the chatter asked, why do you set the alarms to 0, instead of the question, which was, why don't you iterate over them in a for loop? A for loop is a very basic coding construct. If you're iterating through a consecutive set of numbers, you definitely want to use that. It's the perfect scenario for a for loop.
Unsurprisingly, his reputation...
What the fuck did he just say? I'm not a coder. The only coding thing that I know is from middle school, 6th grade, and that's Scratch. I don't know what they were talking about. Illiterate loop? Bro, what?
as an expert game developer collapsed almost overnight, and worked at Blizzard became a full-blown meme. But that was far from the deepest hole he'd dig for himself. On July 5th, an ex-user tweeted a screenshot of a conversation between Thor and his mod, Kronos, which revealed that they had allegedly faked his...
didn't I hear something about Kronos before? Wasn't he in a situation, or isn't he well known? I don't know, but I think I heard of him before.
Record-breaking Twitch hype train back in April 2024 by gifting subs and bits to himself. Both Thor and Kronos denied the allegation and acted as if they were the victims of unfair online hate. But days later, another person posted a screenshot of the exact donation in question and proved that Pirate Software was a shameless liar, completely shattering whatever trust his viewers still had in him. What ties all these controversies together is a single, consistent pattern. Thor's arrogance prevents him from ever admitting fault, even when he's clearly, demonstrably wrong, and at times, he'll resort to outright lying to avoid it. Pirate had a golden ticket to being as big as the biggest influencers, but his ego was stroked too much to allow himself a little humility, and that was his biggest fault, letting it go to his head.
Raising
I feel like, yeah, you can have a little ego, but it gets to the point where if you get humbled or accused or in problems or in drama more than 2 times, then you gotta think, like, this is just a point in your head, you be like, maybe I'm the bad guy. Maybe I'm the bitch. Right? Because obviously you're not just gonna be like, oh, they're wrong. Oh, that guy's wrong. He don't even know what he's talking about. No, I don't think that. Like, if I'm in the drama more than 2 times, I gotta be like, damn. Am I the problem? Am I the one with the ego? I don't know. Maybe just me, but.
Cane's delightful chicken finger meals.
Cane's?
One love.
Oh my god, I love Cane's. Oh my god. Dog food. Not too big on dog food. Come on. Low.
As a result, he burns through nearly all of his credibility in just a few months. And for a creator whose entire brand was built on authenticity and expertise, losing that trust meant losing almost his entire audience. But if there was one silver lining for Pirate throughout this 2025 fallout, it's that the people who are watching him after everything are genuinely loyal fans who are clearly ready to support him through the worst of times. And with that kind of audience, he still had one last shot at redemption. Obviously, reaching back to his peak was nearly impossible, but he could slowly rebuild momentum, provided he course-corrected and proved he
1.3, 1.3, 1.3, 1.2, 1. Oh, those aren't even like organized, right?
was capable of growth. But if his recent behavior is anything to go by, it looks like he would rather sabotage his own comeback than swallow his pride. After the hype train scandal blew up in July, Thor stayed relatively low for a few months, until he decided to make a big comeback in December 2025, with a month-long event called Indecember.
For the entire month of December, we're going to be doing an event. We're going to be calling it the Indecember Games Show. One of the things that I've seen with traditional game shows is they're usually quite short. It's usually just a day or a couple of hours. Those games don't get a lot of breathing room. It's usually just an ad that plays. So since I'm doing it over the entire month, we're going to be playing those games on stream. We're going to be talking to developers. We're going to be interacting with those communities. We're going to be really doing deep dives on every one of these.
He presented the event as an initiative designed to spotlight indie developers and showcase smaller games that normally wouldn't get.
Indie developers. What is that? I'm gonna search it up in my phone right now. What is indie developers? An individual or small team that creates software or video games without the financial, creative, or distribution of backing of a major publisher. Okay. Interesting. Seems interesting.
Mainstream attention.
I've also seen inside of the indie scene that money ends up being an issue for everybody. It's incredibly expensive.
Right, what I just said. So, apparently indies are programmers like him that get underpaid or work with unpopular games like on the other hand, people that code with Fortnite, indie players, indie programmers, indie softwares, indie coders work for some off-brand 1v1 LOL, something like that, but way more niche than 1v1 LOL, and get severely underpaid, and they don't have any good publishers. You learn things every day. I did not know that. I did not.
For the indie shows to be able to show off their games, and it ends up being a huge barrier for them to be able to do this. So I'm doing it for free. We've got corporate sponsors.
Now, how can this go wrong? How can this ever go wrong? I'm gonna try to predict it. Okay. He does not show the audiences the links to the games or to the programmers, and then they don't get no form of recognition ever in some sort. That's what I think. We're gonna see if that is right or not.
So we've got some other types of sponsors that are in there, and we've got you guys as the viewers, so the indies aren't going to pay a dime. That's the whole point with this.
Maybe this was his attempt to re-establish himself as an influential figure in the space, after months of public humiliation. And to be fair, a lot of his audience responded positively. Sounds like an awesome way to support indie games. So happy you're doing this. But once the event actually...
Right, like I said, what can go wrong? What can go wrong for that, man? Come on now. That's a good, wholesome thing to do for indie programmers, indie games.
Kicked off, it became clear who it was really for. Some industry observers pointed out that the event structure benefited Thor far more than the developers he claimed to be uplifting. There was no dedicated website, no centralized hub, developers had to reach out to Thor directly just to participate, and he hadn't taken any real
Oh, so they had to reach out to Thor specifically, and then instead of the game in December game show, whatever, showing support to the indie games, it showed support more focused on Thor. Way off. I was way off.
Steps to ensure these games would gain sustained exposure beyond his own stream. Now, did the event bring some new eyes to those developers? Probably, but the spotlight stayed almost entirely on his platform. And if you look at the numbers, there was actually a small bump in his viewership during that month. This criticism never...
Right, but that's also a bad thing, because he hyped it up so much, and then now he's getting even more criticism because he didn't fulfill his promise. Oh, why not just do the right thing, man? Come on, bro.
Escalated into a full-blown scandal, but it once again revealed the same pattern. Even when positioning himself as a champion for others, Thor has a habit of shaping the narrative so that he remains at the center of it, and that exact ego that needs to always be the smartest, the most important person in the room is what sparked his most recent controversy, one that might just be the final nail in the coffin. For years, Ashes of Creation had been marketed as the next great evolution in the MMO space. It raised over $3.2 million in crowdfunding, built a passionate community of nearly 20,000 backers, and asked players to believe in it for close to a decade. Then, on February 1st, 2026, without warning, Intrepid Studios announced that it was shutting down development and laying off the entire development team. As you can imagine, the backlash was immediate, and a significant chunk of that anger landed straight on Pirate Software, because if you've watched Thor for any length of time over the past few years, you know he has been one of the loudest voices backing the project. But just 4 days before the official shutdown, he quietly stopped backing the game, and when Intrepid made the announcement public, Thor posted a lengthy tweet claiming he wasn't surprised the project failed, which to a lot of people felt incredibly two-faced. How could you...
So he's been backing up a game to release, but then comes out and say, yeah, I didn't really believe in it. What? If you're going to back up a game, at least honestly believe that it's going to be backed up.
been connected to this game for 5 years and not smelled the BS, when so many others warned to stay away. Pirate Software peddles the game hard and managed to jump ship before it comes out as a scam game. I can't tell what Thor is full of more, himself or shit. The very next...
That reminds me of one of those crypto scams that I think some famous YouTuber, a few famous YouTubers did, and then they got canceled or in drama for it.
Today, Thor uploaded a YouTube video addressing the situation. In it, he claimed that the real reason he distanced himself...
Damn. Remember when I was doing 1.3 million views, 92k views. Oh, that's bad, but well, it's pretty bad compared to how much views he was having. Bro, once I get 100k views, oh my god, I'm going crazy. I don't think I'm gonna get that far, low key, but I'm doing this for fun.
From Ashes of Creation was moderation issues. According to him, there were racist and hateful users infesting the community.
And I was sending them stuff back and forth with this, and I was like, hey, we got a serious moderation problem on the server. And we started linking them things. There was a guy that was actually posting comments about Jewish people every day, all day, right? He was just doing that every single day, all day. And the account would just change every single day. Guy never got banned. We had a guy that was saying that he wanted to form a group to go kill all the LGBT people on the server. We got a screenshot of that, sent it up to them. Guy never got banned.
He also showed a screenshot of a message from Margaret Crone, who was head of communications on the project.
What led me to quit the game was actually this response from Margaret, which I have right here.
Now, on the surface, what Thor said sounds completely reasonable, but this is Thor we're talking about, and by now, you should already know how this goes. Given his track record of twisting situations to make himself look like the only right person in the room, people weren't exactly inclined to take his word for it.
Yeah, like, if it's like the boy who cried wolf. Like, there was multiple instances where he apparently put himself as the victim. That's what I've got from the video, and then try to flip it around. Nobody's gonna believe him now because there's been multiple instances where he's been apparently flipping the book. You know, like Sorry for my dog. That's my dog.
Shortly after his video went live, Margaret went on social media
There, I stopped though.
And claimed that Thor had missed.
No, it won't work.
Represented the context of that message. This was not what that message was in reference to. It was in reference to someone calling him a ferret effer and good shit, your Kiwi
ferret effer? What is that? What is that? I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know.
Farm's page is booming. We actioned the account, but did not permanently ban the person. Those other folks saying super egregious things like saying they wanted to kill LGBT people, we were banning. And given Thor's history of lying, a large portion of the community sided with her immediately. So, in an attempt to prove himself...
Yeah, like I said, it's like the boy who cried wolf. You can't, Thor really can't, if he is telling the truth, he can't really get mad at them because there's been multiple instances where apparently he flipped the book and lied to make himself a bit of a victim. If I was Thor, I wouldn't really get mad if I was in my senses. Well, I'm not saying he isn't, but, you know.
Right, once and for all, Thor released screenshots of an extremely long text exchange between him and Margaret. But this move was about to backfire in the worst way imaginable, because the texts didn't show what Thor wanted them to show, they showed the opposite. From the very start of the conversation, Thor wasn't reporting a racist user. He was reporting people who were making fun of him or referencing his Kiwi Farms page, and calling him names. That was what he wanted Intrepid to take action on. And when they they didn't act fast enough, he texted Margaret again a week later, asking why the players he reported still hadn't been banned. Margaret explained that not every report leads to a permanent ban, stating, "Depending on the severity and context, some cases warrant warnings or temporary actions, which are not reflected on the public ban list." She also explained,
That's reasonable. Well, I don't know. I don't have a good radar or scaling for things like this. I feel like if they're just threatening one person and there's other people threatening whole communities, I feel like I would focus more on the people threatening the communities more than one person. But then obviously one person is still as much as valuable, but obviously community is one person. I don't know.
that their small support team was working through a massive backlog of reports, which was causing delays. But Thor seemed fixated on getting these viewers banned. According to him, they were connected to the 6 swatting incidents he had experienced over the past year. Now, to be clear, swatting is a completely unjustifiable form of cyber harassment that can put someone's life at serious risk. It is not something anyone should ever have to deal with. But as Margaret pointed out in her reply, it's also not something a video game moderation team has any control over beyond their own platform. We hear you, and we want to be very clear that we take concerns like this seriously. If at any point you feel that your personal safety is at risk, we strongly encourage you to contact local law enforcement immediately. We can and do take action within our platforms, but threats that extend beyond the game or into the real world are best handled by the appropriate authorities. Which was a reasonable response. But not for Thor. You see, he's so used to banning everyone in his chat who criticizes or pokes fun at him, he expected the same instant treatment here. But when he couldn't get the situation handled exactly the way—
I feel like you sometimes need that criticism, no? Bullying. Like, if I get some haters, I'm not gonna ban all of them. Obviously, like, the ones who threaten my life and stuff. Yeah, but if they're like, dude, why are you pausing too much? Or, dude, why are you speaking too much? Obviously, if people say that, and then obviously I'm going to look into it and see, like, is he right or is he wrong? Because obviously I want the best. I want to make good YouTube videos and good streams. So, you know. So, I think you just don't need a ban. And he has a high ego. That's what I'm getting from it.
He wanted, he flipped out and sent a long, threatening message that he would stop playing and streaming the game.
This though, we followed the entire book of reporting in your system. We put in tickets and alerted you to exactly what was going on in the game. We showed screenshots, and many other players also reported this activity. You chose this outcome intentionally, and even while being fully aware of the context. Based on this, I will no longer be encouraging my community to play the game, nor will I be streaming it. I went to bat for Intrepid many times over the years, putting my own reputation on the line to encourage people to give you a chance, removing misinformation and showing the community of all of the best points of ashes of creation. On a personal level, I am incredibly disappointed in the entire company now. You've lost my faith as a player and ally with this decision. Okay.
At this point, it would have been completely understandable if the person on the other side got irritated and simply stopped responding to him, but Margaret continued to be really polite, reading, "I can see how deeply disappointed you are, and I understand why this moment feels like a breaking point. We investigate the reports you and others submitted. The messages in question occurred within a very short window, roughly a 15-minute span, and involved only a handful of posts. While some of the language used was inappropriate and unacceptable, our current moderation framework does not always move directly to permanent bans for first-time offenses of this nature." She also explained that there was no way for her team to confirm whether the in-game users Thor reported were actually the same people responsible for swatting him, which to anyone with common sense should be obvious. As soon as Pirate released these conversations publicly, the entire community pointed out 2 things. Number 1, he had once again twisted the narrative to make himself look like he could could never be wrong, and second, he came across as incredibly entitled and unwilling to even consider someone else's explanation. Naturally, this triggered another intense wave of backlash against him. Pirate being so deep in Delulu that he doesn't even realize he proves himself wrong, and a liar. Gotta be one of my favorite genres. Lol, Pirate claimed they said something completely different and worse. Once again, his drama is over nothing but his own actions. And now, with him once again turning himself into an online lolcow, it feels increasingly unlikely that the internet will ever take him seriously again. However, what makes this downfall story uniquely disappointing is that at every turning point, Pirate Software had a chance to stop the hate by simply admitting fault and showing humility, but every time he chose his ego instead. In trying to protect his pride, he slowly destroyed any realistic path to redemption, and this comment sums up the entire saga better than anyone else. It's hilarious how his rep went downhill so fast. If he could just shut up and admit he's wrong once in a while, no one would have cared.
Every business.
Good video. What did I get from that? Nothing. I'm not really that good at summarizing, but he did apparently seem like an asshole in this video. I don't think ego should ever get to someone like that, especially like Thor, but I don't know. We're all different people, so let's just skip this ad real quick.
Business runs on documents. This is how work gets done. Compliance is.
Alright, that was a good video. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to him. Where's his videos? Subscribe. Okay. Yeah.
For years, Pirate Software.
That was in fact his latest video on his channel, Internet Anarchist. Make sure to look at his video if you don't want to look at my video. Pirate Software's falling apart. Just look at his latest one. Yeah, he's very interesting, and I like him. You know, all these I watch. This one. They're pretty good. They're actually good. I like them watching them, and I'm gonna get the thumbnail right now. So, I don't know how.
For years.
I don't know how to get the thumbnail, so I'm just gonna.
Pirate Software built his brand on the illusion that. For years, Pirate Software built his brand on the illusion that he was the smartest person in the room. But in 2025, that entire image fell apart. For years, Pirate Software built his brand on the illusion that he was the smartest person in the room. But in 2025,
I'm gonna see if I can get the little thumbnail here. Make this big. Oh yeah, okay, that's it. So I'm about to like. Oh my god, someone's gonna, bro. One of my homies is gonna edit me into some like, I don't know, some stupid stuff. Hold on, anything for the thumbnail. What am I supposed to do? Alright. I don't know. But that's a thumbnail. I hope y'all liked the video. And it is also a stream. So I don't know if I'm going to end the stream right now or later. But I hope y'all liked the video. I'm going to stop recording right here. And then if this doesn't work, then I might not even post it low-key. But tomorrow morning, I'm going to review it. And then if it's good, I'm going to post it. And yeah, I hope you liked the video. Comment and make sure to subscribe. I love y'all guys. Was that with it, people? No. It's bye. Bye. Have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is in y'all time zones. Bye. Peace out.